As an older Gen Z, I just turned 24 a month ago. I think millennials and Gen X really need to chill out with the way that they talk about the Gen Z stare.
So glad that the older generations are calling out my generation, Gen Z, for being so socially immature. Finally, y'all invented this weird ass Gen Z stare shit.
As a fellow Gen Z, yes, you guys do a stare, okay? And it's not just when somebody is being stupid to you in customer service. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of you also just don't like doing anything. You guys don't like interacting with people. You guys don't like tiny conversations. Like, you guys act like it's so mentally taxing.
I walk in. Gen Z. Can I get a bowl with beef, rice, beans, and guac? Our system is down, so we can't accept cards, only cash. I don't carry cash. Walks away.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Cynthia here, and guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about the Gen Z stare.
This is a Gen Z stare everybody's talking about. Can I order? What would you like? Can I just get like I don't know, like a sandwich? Like, what do your sandwiches usually come with? It depends what kind of sandwich. I was maybe thinking about like the Chipotle chicken. What does that come with? Chipotle and chicken. Yeah, is there like mayo or like lettuce or tomato, or like is it just Chipotle sauce and chicken? Yeah, it has tomato. Lettuce is extra. Okay, and for your horchata, is that like homemade or is it like a powder, like from a little package? I don't know. I can go ask.
So apparently people are saying the Gen Zers have a new skill and it's going viral. It's called the Gen Z stare. If you have ever asked someone a question and got hit with this, congrats, you have met it in real life. It's that deadpan, expressionless look some young people give when you talk to them. I mean, it started trending on TikTok where older people and even some millennials are posting about how some Gen Zers at work just blink slowly instead of responding.
Promise I'm not trying to jump on the Gen Z stare bandwagon, but I'm really glad we're talking about it because it's just very frustrating. Over the past several years, I have encountered more and more young people in customer facing positions who just stare. They don't say anything, they don't greet, they don't answer any questions, they don't tell you what your total is, they just stare at you. And if you say something to them or ask them a question, they just stare at you.
I mean, some say it's a sign of rudeness, others call it anxiety, and some Gen Z folks are saying they're just processing. Now, guys, this has got a lot of generations talking. Employers are saying Gen Z lack communication skill, but trust the Gen Zs to crack back with mostly, why are you obsessed with fake smiles and forced small talks? In today's video, we're going to be looking at what the Gen Zs are saying, and we're going to be looking at what older generations are saying about this. Now, without wasting too much time, let's get right into this video.
Oh, Gen Z just does the Gen Z stare. They don't know how to talk to people. Fair. A lot of Gen Z don't know how to talk to people. But a lot of older generations talk too much, too rudely, and too proudly while being too stupid. I cannot tell you. You have to work in the food industry to fully grasp how stupid people can be. I remember one day I was serving this customer. She's ordering a burger. She was like, okay, I want this cheeseburger with no cheese on it. My first red flag. Then she says, I want to have pepper jack on this burger. I look at her, I'm confused. I'm like, ma'am, you said you didn't want cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you talking about like specific cheeses or like you just don't want any cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you aware pepper jack is a type of cheese we offer? She looks at me and she scoffs like dumb. And she's like, clearly I'm not talking about the cheese then. Then what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, ma'am, we don't offer anything that's pepper jack except for our cheese. She said, put pepper jack on the burger. Y'all have done it before. I want the pepper jack that's not the cheese. And I'm like, I really don't know what this lady talking about. But I'm like, okay. So, ma'am, I'm putting the pepper jack that we offer on your burger. She says, yes. Are you deaf? That's what I just said. Okay. So her order comes out. I give it to her. She opens the burger. She says, what is cheese doing on my burger? I said, ma'am, you said to put pepper jack on your burger. But she asked me, are you dumb? I said, not the cheese. And like she starts going on this whole spiel. I clocked out immediately. I was like, let me go get my manager. She has this whole conversation with the manager, all upset, calling me all types of names. The manager pulls me to the side and said, oh, she was asking for fried jalapenos on her burger. I'm sorry. Is there a world that I'm not from where pepper jack is fried jalapenos? I've had a person get mad at me because their iced tea was too cold. I really don't know what these people want from me. Of course, I'm going to just start staring at you. I'm staring at you like you dumb. You're stupid because you are.
Okay. So that's one justification for why there's a Gen Z stare. Let's keep going, guys.
The older generations on here talking about Gen Z got a Gen Z stare, you feel me? And I'm gonna say, hell yeah, we do, you feel me? We not y'all, bro. We don't come into these random minimum wage jobs trying to be employee of the year, bro. We here to collect our check and go home. I just woke up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to go clock in for $10 an hour. And you think I'm here to start making small talk? No, bro, I'm here for my check and to go home. Like, imagine I'm bagging groceries at the grocery store. Why would I want to have a small conversation with every customer that comes into my fucking lane? Not only that, the older generation be coming in doing dumb shit, bro. Like, why you gonna insert your card? This shit gonna say, remove your card and just be beeping, beeping, beeping. And y'all just looking at the shit, just beeping. Nigga, take the card out. How about take the card out? Or they gonna come into a restaurant or a fast food spot and start asking stupid questions. Does the cheeseburger have cheese on it? Nigga. Okay, so I got mild sauce and hot sauce. Which one do you want? Is the hot sauce spicy? Nigga. Excuse me, sir. I ordered a frozen lemonade. You gave me a slushie. Nigga.
When they explain it from their own point of view like this, it kind of like makes you think about the whole thing. But I'm not sure this is what people are talking about.
The Gen Z stare, the Gen Z stare. Okay, so do you want to know why we all of us Gen Zers give all of you old people the Gen Z stare in customer service? Because I'm going to tell you. So you know how a lot of the older generations have been complaining lately about getting the Gen Z stare when they go to get food or drinks or something or get customer service? Yeah, so that's actually not us like specifically trying to be rude. It's literally just because like when I do it, I usually am not even trying to do it. I'm just like trying to gather my thoughts and like process what you just said because I can't fathom what you just said usually is what it is. Here's just an example that I've gotten in the past of when I use the Gen Z stare and you'll see why. Okay, so I'm making a little drink and a customer walks in, right? Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can we started for you today? Coffee. Okay, so what kind of coffee can I get started for you today? We have a lot of different selections. Black coffee. Okay, did you want that like hot or iced today or like hot black coffee? Okay, sounds good. Did you want any like flavorings or syrup, sweeteners in there or anything at all? Hot black coffee. All right, is that going to be all for you today? Yes. Okay, so your total, it looks like it's going to come to $322. There's going to be a short question on the screen there about a tip before you proceed. All right, there is that drink for you. And then did you want a stopper at all today? Okay.
Okay, in this scenario, the whole thing is looking like the Gen Zer, is not the one giving the Gen Z stare. Am I missing something here? I do know for a fact that there are some people, whether young generation or old generation, don't like small talks. Yes, they just want what they want and they want it immediately.
Who's gonna tell Gen Z that the stare we're talking about is not the one that everyone under the age of 40 gives a boomer? We're talking about the stare when anyone tries to have just a normal human interaction with you, like in the flesh, and you guys freeze the fuck up. I can't even count to you how many times I've tried to like say hi to like neighbors that are walking by that are like in their teens, and they just look at you like they just saw a ghost and they're like, there's no way that interaction is real. And they keep fucking walking. It is this blank deer in the headlights stare that you guys have. And it's like, oh my God, is a real live person talking to me? Even if I hold the door for a Gen Zer, I get no thank you. I get no sort of interaction. They just look at the ground and then kind of look at me and like keep walking. I don't know if the pandemic really messed you guys up or if it's the iPads, but like, we're not talking about the stare that everybody gives a boomer. I give boomers that stare, and I'm 28, gonna be 29. We're talking about the lost look, the lights on, the no one's home look, just because somebody said hi to you.
Honestly, guys, a lot of people are misunderstanding this whole thing. Gen Zers are thinking millennials or boomers are coming for them. Meanwhile, they're saying, no, we're not coming for you. We're just telling you the response you give us when we ask like a simple question. Anyway, guys, let's keep going.
Not to be millennial on main, but this Gen Z stare thing people are talking about, I've been itching to talk about this for a minute. Like,
Okay.
I have been clocking this since a couple of years ago. Like, I used to work at this restaurant, and we had a lot of Gen Z, like, I guess staff, like servers, hostesses, bussers, whatever, at this restaurant. And not all of them were awkward. Like, a lot of them were, like, normal, charming, like, friendly, whatever, like, chill. But, like, there was a specific way the awkward Gen Z staff would act at this job. And I started to notice this when I, like, also talked to other, like, Gen Z, like, customers that come in. Or, like, just, like, I just used to observe it more. And I was like, this is kind of weird. Or, like, in stores and stuff. But I remember we had this hostess who, like, she was so awkward. And, like, I just don't even understand how she got the job. People would, like, say, like, hi, can I get a table? And she'd just be like this. Yeah. Or, like, one time a customer's baby said hi to her. And she was like, okay, your table's over there. You can't say hi back to a baby? Bitch, what? You are the hostess of the restaurant. Say hi back. Goddamn.
When you start listening to a lot of people's experiences, you start to wonder, like, come on.
So glad that the older generations are calling out my generation, Gen Z, for being so socially immature. Finally, y'all invented this weird ass Gen Z stare shit. Y'all know the one. You ask someone a simple question like, hey, do you need some help looking for something today? It just hits you with this dumb, confused, deer in headlights type of look, as if you just committed some egregious crime by simply asking them, treating them with basic human decency. Imagine having to grow up with these people, having to live around these people, being forced to commune with these people, being forced to go to school with these types of people. So yes, at 27 years old, I'm completely fed the fuck up with Gen Z. My generation is so emotionally constipated. Every single social interaction turns into this like awkward tension-filled mess. Oh, and when you decide to call it out, or you change your behavior, you don't play into their weird ass little mind games. They call you the weird. They say you're the one that's being weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, how am I weird when you just stared at me for simply asking if you needed some help finding some items? And I don't know what type of message that they're trying to convey when they do this shit. It's like, bro, I walked up to you because you were looking lost. And now that you're looking at me like this, you look even more lost. With this idiotic look on your face, what the fuck do you want me to do? Why does my generation have this weird obsession with trying to embody bougie, stuck-up cat behavior, while at the same time being the most lame, goofy, uncool, insufferable people in the room? I don't know where my generation got this from, but let me be the first to tell y'all, being awkward is not cool. It's not a personality trait. You're just a weirdo. Making other people feel weird for initiating conversation with you, it's not hip. It's not trendy. Just publicly make yourself look like a dumbass. You think it's okay because you have your two little fucking friends with you who want to co-sign on this weird ass behavior. But they're weirdos too. Like I said, bro, I'm just happy that the older generations are finally calling out Gen Z for being the lame, goofy motherfuckers that they have been my whole entire life. They just been getting away with it because up until this point in their lives, I have been the only person in these rooms to tell them about themselves. Gen Z is the only generation outside the boomers who have gaslit and convinced themselves that their shit doesn't stink. If there ever were more equally delusional generation of people outside the boomers, Gen Z. People say like Gen Z is the new boomers, we're gonna grow up to be the boomers, I 100% believe them. We act just the same. Man, y'all don't understand how tiring it has been to live in a generation full of people who haven't emotionally matured past the age of 13 years old. I don't know, man. I think it's all the hair dye.
Did he just tell on his generation? This one was one interesting clip for me to watch. He actually told on his people. I wonder what the Gen Z are going to say of him. Are they going to be like, he's a pick me of Gen Z? But it's good to hear somebody speaking facts. Okay, he looks like he's fed up with the whole thing.
As a fellow Gen Z, yes, you guys do a stare, okay? And it's not just when somebody is being stupid to you in customer service. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of you also just don't like doing anything. You guys don't like interacting with people. You guys don't like tiny conversations. Like, you guys act like it's so mentally taxing. And I think because of therapy speech and just online, like, you guys are very good at taking words and almost like weaponizing them and telling people like, well, that's because blank, that's because blank, that's because blank. It's, you guys kind of give excuses for just simple, tiny interactions that you have to do as a human. And that's why we don't have community anymore. I'm just being very honest, because you guys act like doing anything is like running a fucking marathon or picking up the world and throwing it at somebody. And I'm saying this because there's been, sorry, my AC's on. There's been so many experiences where I've been like, okay, how many people at the table? And you guys are just like, when it's obviously like 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, simple questions you guys ask, you act like it takes a million of nerves and energy to do it. It's very weird.
Guys, it looks like parts of Gen Zs are also fed up about the whole Gen Z thing. So it's like it's actually a thing. It's actually a thing. I personally haven't come across the Gen Zs there, but this is causing a lot of conversations online.
I'm a millennial who received the Gen Z stare recently, and this is how that interaction went.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm Hallie's mom. Thank you so much for agreeing to teach my daughter golf. She is so excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed that you guys had a deal where I can buy a certain amount of lessons and get one free. Do you remember what that deal is? I don't have my phone with me, so I can't see it. Okay, that's totally fine. Is the best way for me to pay you via Venmo, or what's the best way for me to go about that? Well, I don't have my phone. So, I mean, I guess, like, you can just text me. Yeah, I can text you, and we can get that squared away. Anyway, it's very nice meeting you.
Oh, that was so cold. Oh, that was really cold, guys. Can you imagine that? So I feel like this is what they're referring to as the Gen Z state, not when a customer comes in and what the first set of people were explaining. Now, if I had an interaction with somebody like this, it won't go well. It will not go well. But I mean, guys, let's keep going.
This entire Gen Z stare discourse being completely misunderstood by all of Gen Z is honestly so ironic and fucking hilarious and proving our point. I don't know how many videos I've seen about people trying to like spell this out for them and get them to understand what we actually mean, and it just goes way over their heads. Like, they really think it's like when someone says something stupid to you and you give them like that's not what we mean. I mean that if I go to a business or a professional establishment and a Gen Zer is behind the counter, I'll walk in, peruse the menu, go up to the register ready to order, and I'll literally be met with someone staring at me like this for like a good 15 to 20 seconds. And generally, I'm the one that has to start the interaction. The fact that I'm coming up to you and I'm asking you if I can order something, like, that's your whole job. For some of you, that's your only job, is to take people's orders. Like, am I crazy for thinking that that's like just like common courtesy to greet customers? If I was a rude
No.
ass bitch everywhere I went, I would understand getting that like weird stare from people. But because I've worked in like a personal service industry for so long, I am so pleasant and nice when I go to somewhere where someone is working and doing something for me. I understand how frustrating that can be, and I get it, but like that's your job. That's what you're being paid for, is to be a pleasant employee and to offer service to people that are paying for that service. And just to add to the narrative, like sometimes I'll have Gen Z clients come into my work and I will greet them and I'll be like, hey, like, what's up? How can I help you? And I'm met with almost every time, because you're not mad dogging them. You're just like blank stare. And that's what we're trying to say. Like, it's not about like you mad dogging us or like giving us that weird look like you're stupid. It truly is the like blank, empty, like soulless fucking stare. You good? Stop blaming COVID. We all went through that shit together. Half of y'all are talking about how you're in your mid to late 20s. If that's the case, then you really can't use that excuse, because you were like fully developed at that time. But I digress. I just think that the whole like you completely missing like the point of this whole discourse and like what we mean when we say Gen Z stare is like it's hilarious.
That's exactly what most people are saying. Like the Gen Z are misunderstanding the way other people are explaining the Gen Z stare. But I guess it's how you look at it from your own end.
The Gen Z stare is not just disassociation because somebody came into your work and said something stupid. The Gen Z stare is specifically when somebody does not respond or just doesn't have any reaction in a situation where a response is either required or just reasonable. On this flight that I'm working today, we're doing our last round of compliance checks in order to be able to close the door and leave. And I go up to the emergency exit row to make sure it's all clear, right? All the bags have to be underneath the seat in front of you. So I get to the second to last row I have to check, and I tell this lady and her daughter, hey, make sure all those bags are all the way underneath the seat. And the mom starts doing her stuff, and this kid doesn't move. I'm using kid lightly, but she was probably around 15 or 16, maybe a little bit older. She just looks at me like this. So I just say again, hey, those bags have to go underneath the seat. And she just goes, okay. Then even her mom says, hey, put your bags underneath the seat. And again, just, I'm going to. I heard someone else say it's like they're waiting for ChatGPT to tell them how to respond, and that's exactly what it felt like. I was like, are we buffering here? What's going on?
Is this a sign of lack of communication? Because honestly, I don't understand what it is. Like, clearly, you're being told to put your bag under the seat, and you're still there looking. What are you looking for? Like, the delay in response, the stare that they're talking about, can be annoying if you think about it. Like, respond, act, move your body.
No, the Gen Z stare does not equal are you dead ass? It equals that one friend who acts like everything you say does not make sense when you ask the most basic, comprehensible thing. My theory, Gen Z grew up during a time that society was being challenged in every way, shape, or form, and it's ignited this response in them to challenge everything. When someone older than you tells you, hey, you gotta socialize, and there's social etiquette that comes with that, because some of you prefer not to socialize, you want to handle it like it's some social movement that needs to change. From greeting people as a customer service rep to saying hello when you answer the phone. What do you mean you called my phone? Why do I have to say hello? Because that's how the fucking phone works? Why the dramatics? Why do we have to do that though? We don't owe you our kindness or respect. That's a customer, not some random man trying to get your number. Social etiquette varies on the situation, and depending on the situation, when you don't follow it, you are being downright rude or utterly abnormal. Strange man on the street? No, he is not owed your acknowledgement or your kindness, but a customer, sweetheart, it's in your job description. You have to greet them. What I'm gathering is you don't owe the world anything, but you're owed a world that accommodates your desire to not socialize and communicate when the situation calls for it. Let me approach a counter as a customer. It's like pulling teeth to get a response out of you, to get your acknowledgement. Let me assist you at the counter as a customer service rep, and I have to yank a response out of you. What do you want? Millennials had to work on scheduling their doctor's appointments. You guys need to work on responding when spoken to. We're all tired, but we all got shit to work on.
I love this lady's vibe. Clearly, guys, This Gen Z stare means them not responding at a very simple, comprehensible question. Now, Gen Zs are making us believe that it's the stare they give when something stupid is asked. So, like, which is it? Are they purposely trying not to understand what people are saying, or they're just saying that to suit themselves? So, it's quite evident that a lot of people have different perspective to this Gen Z stare. But that's that, guys. At the end of the day, there's so many perspectives to this whole Gen Z stare, these Gen Z stare, that you know how it feels for you to want a simple conversation with someone and they just like give you a blank stare, because it can be really, really, I don't want to use the word annoying, but it can come off the wrong way. It's like, can't you talk, or is there a problem? Here's another thing: they're on a different wavelength and they don't see things the way other generations see things. I don't know what caused it, whether it's the pandemic or that's just how their generation is. And no matter how people talk about this over and over again, it's something that if they don't want to work on, they will not work on it. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And yes, beautiful people, I've come to the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, do not forget to give the video a fat thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.